Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bayala Party Heaven, and today we are doing another Valentine's themed balloon column. This frame I built myself, so join me as I show you how I built the frame. So you need an IKEA stand. That's going to be what you would use to like make the main base of the frame. It doesn't have to be just an IKEA stand. The IKEA stand is called Not Lamp, and you can get it from any IKEA store. You could also use a lamp uplighter, like a standing lamp that you use in your home. And then you need a PVC pipe. So this PVC pipe is 21.5 millimeters. And it's 2 meters in height, so I cut it into two, hence the height being short. The 2 meters, I use it for other frame stands too. I'm going to be showing you how to create another frame stand. So if you're new to my channel, please remember to subscribe so you get notified when I upload a new video. And remember to click the notification button, please. So when you cut the size you want, you put it over the pole of the IKEA stand, and then you need this what's it called? It's like a connector. I'm going to put the link of all the supplies I used in the description. I know a lot of people that watch me are in the United States, so I would advise that you go to any hardware store, and yeah, you would be able to find all the supplies easily. For those in the UK, I got all this from B&Q. I'm going to be putting the link in the description so that you could go to B&Q to get it. I don't know if B&Q is in any other country. I don't know. But in the UK, we use B&Q. It's a hardware store where you could get PVC pipes and all of that. So right now I am connecting the... it's called a gutter pipe or something. It's like curvy, kind of, so you could easily use it to make like a hoop shape. So what I did was, this was too big, so I cut off a bit of it. So another thing you need to get is a pipe cutter. I'm going to put a link of where you could get a pipe cutter from in the description. I've put it in my Amazon store. Link to my Amazon store is in the description too. So here is a clear video of the connector, and then the PVC pipe. So the PVC pipe is, remember I said to you, it's 21.5 millimeters, and the hoop is 15 millimeters. Don't worry, the details will be in the description. Now it's time to cover our frame. This frame can be used for a baby shower. It could be used for a bridal shower. The next time I use it, I'm going to be using it for a baby shower kind of theme. So stay tuned. Remember, subscribe to my channel, please, and you would get loads of videos that I would be sharing. So I am using 11 inches balloon here, and I'm under inflating it into say 4 and 6 inches for some, and some I'm inflating into 3 and 5 inches. I'm using the bigger balloons, which is 11 inches, as the base first for the frame, so that gives it the bulky look, and then I'll top up with 5 inches. So the red I'm using at the moment is just plain red. It is not double stuffed, it's just single red balloons. So you tie them into duplets and then you put them aside. For the 5 inches, I decided to double stuff. So I double stuffed some of the 5 inches with pearl pink. That is for the 5 inches red. I double stuffed it with pearl pink. I double stuffed some with crystal reflex red by Sempertex. And then I inflated some white balloons that I'll be using for the base, because definitely, the frame is white already and you want everything to rhyme. You don't want the colors not looking good together. So I wrap around my white balloons on the base. The white balloons I have inflated into 8 and 6 inches, and then 9 and 7 inches in random sizes. So you just wrap it like you will do an organic garland onto the bottom of the frame. Now, this frame, you could also spray paint it. So you could spray paint it into gold. I think I'm going to spray paint this into gold for the next time I'm going to use it. It is reusable, it is sturdy, it is strong. All you need is your uplighter stand and then the PVC pipe over it and the circle PVC that would make the circle shape. Initially, I was going to make like a big hoop, like, you know, the big hoop that we normally use, the really big one. But I now thought I would need something stronger for the base. So I'm still going to try that because I bought 2 of the bendy part of the pipe. So I'm going to try and make a bigger hoop with it because there's a connector you could use to like connect 2 hoops together. You guys, you just need to explore and try and make your frames yourself. It's not every time, because all these people that sell us the frames anyway, they make it. So why can't you make it? So and most of these things are quite easy to make, like I've used, you know, done here. So I'm done with inflating all my balloons. I did not count the amount of balloons I used. So in case you're going to be wondering, oh, how many balloons did I use? I'm going to just leave you to like judge. But I know that I did not for the 11 inches. I used like about 30 or like 40 pieces, and for the 5 inches, I used, because I was double stuffing anyway. Some of the 5 inches I double stuffed with ruby red. And some I double stuffed the pinks with the crystal red, and some of the pinks I double stuffed with the ruby red. So I just played with the colors, and you know, this was what the colors I achieved, and I think it looks really nice. So I'm just trying to like set up the bottom part. Just arrange it like you would do an organic balloon. Tie it into duplets. That's the last part of the bottom that I'm tying off now. So I made like 2 sets, then I wrapped it around using a 260Q. The intention is to make the base look like a cloud kind of shape. Just make sure your balloons are, you know, inflated into random sizes, and then you push them into shape and you've got your, you know, cloud base. So I'm going to finish with the bottom part later on. Now we move to the top part. So the thing about the connector is it's like a screw. It has like something you know, when I think when you use the pipe, you could screw it to be in place. So that's a good thing about the connector I used for this frame. I could, you know, like unscrew it when I'm done with the frame, and I'll just put it apart. Or you could just leave it as a frame if you have the space to store it. For me, when I finished with this creation, all I did was I just twisted the connector and I pulled everything apart. So I'm arranging the balloons now. I'm, like I said, I inflated some 11 inches, and that was to use it as the base, the first set of balloons that would go on the frame. So I wrap them round in 4s, and then you just push it in and then push it in, you know, into place. Then I go on to do the top. I don't want to add the 5 inches yet. I just want to make sure I'm done with the, you know, the main balloons first, so I can see clearly what I'm doing. So when you're wrapping your balloons round, just wrap it round like the way you would wrap balloons round or arch frame. If you've done a balloon arch before, a balloon column, personally I wrap it round and make it stay in place. I don't know how to explain, but if you watch my past videos where I've worked with a balloon arch, I show how I wrap my balloons onto a frame. Just push it into place, push it together. You don't want the balloons not sitting tightly together. I like it sitting tight and neat. So I'm still using the bigger balloons here. It looks small on camera, but they are quite big. I've inflated into 5 and 7 inches, and then some into, I think, 8 and 6 inches. And then I finish off the end with the smaller balloons. So for the end of the bottom one, I finished with the 5 inches double stuffed on both sides. So the big balloons are in the middle, and then you finish the ends with the smaller balloons. So do the same thing you've done on one side, on the other side too. I did the same thing for the top part. Now we're looking at the frame, and the white part is standing out. So stay tuned to see how I'm going to be covering the white part. If you're one that you're not going to be able to like spray paint, or you're just saving cost again, yeah, just use this technique of me covering the white, because I would have covered with flowers, but you can't cover with flowers alone, because the white is, you know, it's white stands out. You could see white like from anywhere. So it's best you cover it to give like a uniformity in your design. So I added the pinks because I didn't have a lot of pink, so I added it to the ends for both the top and the bottom, because I didn't want to go on full on reds. Yes, we know it's Valentine's, and we know a lot of people think, oh, Valentine's has to do with red. Red colors are the right colors for Valentine's. But trust me, you could mix red with pink and it would look too fabulous. Just like the way we can mix pink with Christmas colors these days. So add your 5 inches to random spots as you would do for an organic garland. So some of the 5 inches I tied into 3s, and some of the 5 inches I tied just 1. And some you could tie into 2s. So just place them at random spots in the top and the base. Now, while you're doing this, your stand might, you know, be like it's moving around a lot. But trust me, it's because you're the one, you know, there's nothing you're working on that won't move. Yeah, so just be rest assured, this frame is really sturdy compared to the ones I've seen them advertise on AliExpress or eBay. This is the best one you could go for because you built it yourself. So for someone that doesn't, you know, if you can't get the uplighter or the IKEA stand, I would suggest you build your own stand. But the main thing is make sure the pole that is going to be going into the PVC pipe, make sure it, you know, it's the PVC pipe can sit on it, if you get what I mean. Because if you see how I built mine, my PVC pipe sat well on the IKEA pole. Now I'm almost finished with adding my 5 inches balloon. I'm just adding them to the gaps in the top and the bottom. I don't like seeing gaps. I'm sure you don't like seeing gaps too. Next, it's time to cover the white part of the frame. So you get, this is a 350Q. I would have used a 260Q. But because the 260Q is smaller, because the pipe is wider, it's like 15 mil, so it's best to use a 350Q. So you inflate it slightly, and then tie the end of, you know, the part you tie onto the balloon on the frame already, and then you start wrapping the balloons, moving it the way you've seen me do in this video. And I'm sure you would have seen me do the same technique in my flower bouquet video. I did the same thing with the flower I was going to put in the bubble balloon. So if you get to the end of the balloon, like halfway, all you need to do is just tie it off, nip it, and then tie it off. Then get another one, do the same thing, and start again. So I'm just going to tie that one to the leftover from the frame, like I'm doing. See? Then you start wrapping it round again. As you're wrapping, you're pushing the hair down. You're wrapping, you're pushing the hair down. You see? And you do the same thing for both sides. Just push it down, keep pushing, and turn it around. You could do the same technique for, you know, a straight pole, any pole that is naked that you think you want the colors to match. Just cover it the way I've done here. It takes practice. It's not something you can just attempt and get it once and for all. So for instance, if you were using this frame for a baby shower and it was for a boy, you'd use blue, or you could use gold, you know, just be creative. But make sure you cover your mechanics. You do not want the white part showing. So when you get to the top, just do the same thing you did in the middle. So I've done the same thing on the other side. And next thing is to add my rose garland. So just wrap it around stylishly. Roses are for Valentines, isn't it? And there's a saying that I learned when I was in secondary school. We always said violets are red, roses are blue. I got it all mixed up while thinking about you, you know, Valentines and all of that. So yeah, but it's actually, yeah, it's supposed to be roses are red, violets are blue, but we just turn it around. Anyway, don't let me bore you. So yeah, just wrap it around on the other side too, and just stick the other end into the balloons. So you would see that there's more of the balloons on one side than the other side. So yeah, just be creative about where you tie the balloons. If you have enough rose garland, you could just let it go into the balloon more than I've done here. Depends on how full on you want to go. Now, you do not have to get the kind of connector I got. There are other connectors that do not have the screw-on thingy. So you could get other connectors. Next, I'm going to be adding my Bobo balloon with a love art inside. So you get a stick, wrap your love art balloon, and stick it into the Bobo balloon. I dropped that there. So I'm going to try and pull out the neck of the heart balloon, because you have to be able to inflate it. Also remember, you have to pre-inflate your Bobo balloon before you stuff it with the heart balloon. Then you get your hand pump and then you inflate the red balloon first. If there's no space anymore, just put some hair into the Bobo balloon like I'm doing here, and then get your hand pump again. And then inflate the red balloon to its full capacity. Once that is done, get your electric inflator and put small hair into the Bobo balloon. So the Bobo balloon size I used here was I think it was a 24 inches, and the red balloon is 18 inches. You don't have to like tie the the foil balloon, but you need to pull the neck down because you want the foil balloon sitting upright. So you pull the neck down and then tie off the Bobo balloon by twisting it several times like I'm doing in the video. And then you get your 260Q, twist it round several times like I'm doing here. This is to make sure the hair is trapped in because you don't want to lose hair. If you don't tie a Bobo balloon well or a deco bubble well, it would lose hair and then clients will be upset, isn't it? And then you tie it onto the middle. Using the 260Q neck, just wrap it around the balloons inside. And turn it around. Just make sure it's in the middle. For me, right now, I don't even know if it's in the middle because I can't see what I'm doing yet. And then try and adjust the balloons. Ensure everything is sitting right the way you want it. Once you put everything in place like I've done, then we go back to the bottom bits of the design. So also I planned on putting vinyl on the clear balloon. Now if you're going to be putting vinyl on the clear balloon, I also just use a pink vinyl instead of a red I'm going to be using in this creation. So at the bottom I decided to put a love sign since it's for Valentines, isn't it? So to stick on the love sign, all you need to use is U-glue dash, nothing else. You don't have to tie in the love sign. Just use U-glue dash or double-sided tape, any strong double-sided tape. So I'm using U-glue dash here. And I just stick it to the back of the love sign, then I stick it to the frame. And it sits nicely. So if you were doing this for like a baby shower or something, you could put a teddy bear at the bottom, isn't it? Put a teddy bear at the bottom instead of the love sign. Or you could put baby at the bottom, or, you know, just be creative. Just, you know, do it different from everyone else. Once you've learned how to do the frame, you're good to go. So you can see this is one of the instances where my U-glue dash would not stick as soon as I want it to stick. But yeah, it still stayed in place because my hands were cold while I was doing it. So remember, anytime you're using U-glue dash, ensure you have warm hands. Warm hands is very, very important. Now to put my vinyl, happy Valentine's Day. Remember, use pink. I used red here, but the pink would pop more and will be seen more clearly than the red. The red is too like as blended with the whole thing. So yeah, it could just, and you could use gold, just a message, whatever you think. So guys, I have a question for you. If you were going to do this for a client, how much would you charge? Tell me in the description. And yeah, I just want to have an idea on if you've learned anything from me in regards to pricing, because I found out that in recent times pricing has been a big issue. People tend to like not understand how they would price their work. and I think I'm going to be talking about that with you guys soon. Pricing for profit is very, very important. One thing I'm going to tell you, if you were going to be doing an organic garland and you were buying balloons for a client and you needed just like 50 balloons for a client, please, you need to like charge for a bag of 100, because just pricing for 50, how are you so sure you're not going to have any poppage? Anyway, that's my tip for today. Thank you guys for joining me. If you watched this video to the end, please remember to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram.